So I'll be dialing on the show live a little bit later on, but I just wanted to take a minute to just quickly introduce Just Detect to our listeners. So Just Detect is going to completely change the hobby of metal detecting. It's going to change it for the better for the detectorist, it's going to change it for the better for farmers, and it's going to change it for the better for dig organisers. For the everyday detectorist, someone that doesn't have their own permission, someone that doesn't have land to go on, somebody that has to wait for a Sunday dig to get out and detect, it's going to completely revolutionise the hobby. You will be able to wake up in the morning on a day off from work, be that a Monday, Tuesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you will be able to book a farm where you can go and metal detect. Just Detect will be opening up more fields to more people. More fields equal more fines for more people. Now, phase 1 of Just Detect was launched at Spring Detectable. There's already hundreds of people that have downloaded it and hundreds of people using the fines recording app. So before the show starts, please take a moment now to download the Just Detect app. It's available on both Android and Apple. So if you download the Just Detect app now, as this show continues, you'll be able to see, you'll have in your hand the app that Scott, Mark, myself and Karen are referring to. So please download the Just Detect app. And I'll hand you back over to Dave and Adrian.
It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show. And I haven't had a tablet this week, Adrian, too early, which makes me go a little bit trippy. Good evening, how are you?
I'm all right, mate. We didn't have a chat earlier, sorry. I thought I was going to give you a quick catch-up, but yeah, got home safe and sound from Detective.
Good. Yeah, I've got a wee video that I've put together of images from the event this weekend, and a darn good event it was too, wasn't it, Adrian?
Yes, it was, Dave. Lots of detecting, cake eating, drinking, and stuff.
Love cake.
Yeah.
You know, I've said to numerous people outside of the hobby this weekend, obviously there's a lot of people there, a lot of people we spoke to, but for me, seeing all the people who I've made friends with, like yourself, over a long period of time, it was fantastic. Being able to sit with people and, you know, have a chin wag. And I said to Kerry Fuller, who was with us, you know, it was fantastic, best person ever to meet in my life. There you go. But to sit there with people from so many different backgrounds, with so many different personalities, and to get on like we did, and we had such a fantastic time, didn't we?
Yeah, it was different, Detectival, because of COVID, but I think not having, well, there was evening entertainment, but not planned. There's certain things that went on, but I think just sitting there.
We're talking about sports-related events.
Yeah, and other things, and drinking and stuff. But I think it was chilled. It was people were able to sit, go and have a chat, talk about the detectors, and it was nice. It was nice. The weather was, well, can you imagine it if it was this weekend? It'd be an absolute faff.
Do you know, on Sunday I sat under my gazebo. I didn't really move it because it was so hot, and I sat in a position where my leg was sticking out and got a burnt knee. Burnt knee.
It was so hot, and then football was on when you got home. So,
I was listening to it on the way home, so I was just going to give you a few shout outs. I've wrote people down who we bumped into and spent our time with. There was, I forgot his name. Mine's gone blank.
Stephen Gray.
I'll get back to him. Stephen Gray, Dan and the team from Searching, and Ash, Nigel Marcus, the team from Regdon's, Gary Cook, Barry Blackwell from XP, Pete from LP and his team. Now Bailey was with us, Matley Tate and Emily we bumped into. Keith Brown, Hopius Maximus, Jason Jones at Norfolk Button Boy. Graham Dempsey spent the entire weekend with us on the stall with his product. Obviously yourself. Who's that say there? That's not even a word. Mark and Karen, obviously. Scott from Detect Network and Just Detect. There was Aaron Weedle. There was Adam Cayley. the DeBays, Stephen Pettican.
Discriminator.
Just loads of people I probably forgot as well.
Yeah, and more importantly, the marshals and security.
The marshals done a fantastic job. The front of house team did a fantastic job. I also want to give a mention as well. Nigel White from Foodie Doodies wasn't very well at the weekend. Made it home safe, and he's under the doctor's orders at the moment to take it very easy. And he's taking a back seat and letting his daughter and her friend do the proceedings at the next event. So he's all good, and he's just got to be taking it easy and getting better. So good news there. But food was great. The beer was great. The weather was great.
Ground was hard.
But the ground was hard. But, do you know, there was somebody, I meant to write it down, but there was a gent earlier who wrote a review on the McGrafter from Detectable, and he said, although the ground was hard, the McGrafter held up absolutely brilliantly for him.
Yeah, well, mine did.
For you, and people were taking mine and Graham's out as well, so there you go. Shall we bring, because I know Luke's got to do some things in the background, shall we bring tonight's guests on, and we can obviously talk about that and introduce the Just Detect app as well?
Yes, Scott Holden, Mr. Scott Holden from...
And hopefully Mark and or Karen Becker. Oh, there's one. Here he is. Here he is.
He'll be joining us in a minute.
Good evening. How are we? Where's Scott gone?
Hello.
Scott, where have you gone? No, I can hear you.
Sorry, I've had a few technical issues with my other laptop, the Techie.
Oh,
I'm going to demo you the app on this one. It hasn't got a cam, so sorry, you'll have to deal with the little emoji thing.
The technical genius, and it's all got big tongue.
I've overdone it with the other laptop, sorry.
I think you've overdone it with some beer the weekend, and it's still seeping out your system, perhaps.
Potentially.
Yeah, not everyone dresses in black on weekends and sleeps in Mark's van in 30 heat without a shower.
It wasn't very comfortable, but
no,
it could have been worse.
Mark,
you guys recovered from the weekend?
Oh, absolutely. I've been doing 12-hour days ever since, starting at 4 in the morning, getting up at 4 in the morning. So, yeah, I'm fine. Working in next to an 85-degree oven, I'm fine. Mark, without further ado, I have to thank you and Karen and the rest of the team for a fantastic weekend. It was an honour to be a part of proceedings. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think the only thing I can personally complain about is the temperature. I think you had it a bit too hot, to be honest.
Yeah, sorry. I did put in a request for good weather, but I think they just took that to the extremes, really, didn't they?
Well, my friend and confidant, Mr. Higgins, is now sporting some great Go Faster stripes down the side of his head.
They look wicked, man.
Really?
They really did. They look so funny.
Mark, you had the bomb squad there, I understand, towards the end of Sunday.
Yeah, the whole thing actually, excuse the pun, it really did end with a bang. They came down and they detonated a hand grenade that a young lad called Leif Stimpson had found. I think he's put it up on the Just Detect app, actually. I did see it on there. He unearthed it and very wisely let us know. And the bomb squad came down and confirmed it was a live grenade and blew it up, apparently with a little more explosives than they needed, which made a very large bang, which echoed through Henley and Hambledon and got lots of people talking on WhatsApp groups, apparently locally. Like, what the hell?
What them metal detecting idiots doing now?
Good Lord, did you hear that bang?
What? I've spilled my Pims.
Did they know how it got there, Mark? Was it dumped? Was it dumped there, or was there training there or anything in the past?
We were talking to one of the guys that works on the estate, who had been born and bred in Henley, and he actually blamed his granddad, because apparently his granddad was on river patrols in the Second World War, and they used to quite frequently throw grenades over the side of the boat and then grab all the fish up and take them home and eat them, apparently. So he could have easily just sort of like thrown one a little bit too far if he was pissed, maybe, and it landed next to the house and thankfully didn't blow up. And then 2021, Leaf goes and digs it up without blowing himself up, which was really good. He didn't do it. What was it? Dave in the Detectorists, wasn't it? That blew himself up. He didn't do a Dave. Thank God.
Did do it, Dave. Not me this time.
No,
Not that Dave.
Dave.
Not that.
That doing a Dave is totally
anyway,
worse than
over that way. Yeah, that's it.
him over there.
Yeah. Not him.
Whereabouts was it found, Mark?
Field 24. Over near the manor house.
Oh,
So
right.
probably would have shook their windows.
So obviously this year, Mark, we didn't have a hoard up like you did in 2019. Fines of consequence. No, obviously fines of consequence. What can you tell us about? Obviously, you can see a lot on Detect, but we'll find out later.
What I've seen and heard of a few staters, which is nice. I heard of a couple of other gold coins that popped up, sovereigns and bits and bobs like that. 3, 4 gold rings, quite a few denarius, Roman bronze, lots of hammers. Lovely little statue. That was really cool.
Oh, he was beautiful, then, wasn't he?
Biggest Dickus. He made a few people chuckle. There was a few nice bits. Obviously, as you said, the ground in places was just baked solid, which didn't help. But it was a lovely weekend. It was better than being cooped up indoors anyway. It's stressful, but yeah.
Well, sadly, we didn't have to get the stress. We weren't running the event. That was your job, sadly. So all credit to yourselves for dealing with that so magnificently.
Really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take your word for that.
They should give you more coffee in the morning, but not as much as I had on Sunday, obviously.
No. So Scott's still there.
An espresso because she doesn't drink coffee. That was quite comical.
Are you still there, Scott? Oh, Scott's gone. Bye then, Scott. The technical genius is there. We'll just have to talk amongst ourselves still, obviously.
Yeah.
He's the technical one, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what? With all due respect to him, there were some initial issues found on the Just Detect app on Saturday morning, very, very early. And he had his computer open and he was sat in the van coding away, fixing them issues as they were coming into him, money. And all were fixed immediately.
So almost immediately. Can you hear me now?
Oh, he's back now. Here she is.
If you switch the other one, Dave, I think I've got my camera working on the other one. Do you know how to do that? Should we leave it?
Luke's in charge, not me.
Oh, okay.
That's why Luke never appears, because he's always behind the scenes doing things.
We'll leave it like
Oh, there we are. Oh, now he's got no voice. Come on, Scott.
This is the problem with Spectrum computers. They're not great on the internet.
No, mate, that's a Commodore. I've got to stick with
Spectrum. Commodore 64 be all right.
All right, Amiga.
Spectrum.
Amiga.
You still can't hear us.
ZX81.
He's got it plugged into the wrong laptop.
Yeah.
Scott's got it in the wrong hole, hasn't he?
He's on now.
Here she is.
Yeah.
So I've got so many devices around me.
So, Scott, it was your first event as such when it comes to metal detecting. I know you were sat in the van doing technical wizardry a lot, but how did it go for you?
I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really good. I went metal detecting for the first time as well. Thanks, Adrian. I borrowed your Brutus. It's quite hard work, isn't it?
That's called coming out of a room and walking, Scott.
I do prefer a dark room, I will say,
Yeah, he did ask where he plugged in the spade. Once I explained it, he was all right. But no, you did well, Scott, because you were digging every signal, even though some of them was iron and trash, but you were finding stuff. So
yeah, I was just happy to give it a go finally, because it's been long enough, hasn't it? Good year or so. Yeah, but I really enjoyed myself. Yeah, it was good.
And the camaraderie and the people there were great as well, weren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a good weekend. Apart from the stress on the Saturday morning with the app, but we sorted it, so it was fine.
And the temperature, because you looked a bit warm at one point.
I was a bit warm, yeah. I don't do sun, I do dark rooms.
You've worn the same pants for 3 days, so you must have been. I don't think you could get them off on Sunday, but So, Scott, Just Detect app. You going to show us a demo, are you? Or
Yeah, I mean, do you want to sort of do a little intro first, and then we'll do a demo of the Finds app?
We'll tell you what, you could do the demo. We'll ask Mark to introduce the app itself. Tell us a little bit about Just Detect, Mark.
Tell you a little bit about the app. Well, we've all had this wonderfully bright idea, which Scott has now gone and made into a reality, which is now Just Detect. So the idea of the app is, as Luke said at the beginning, to be able to make detection easier and bring people permissions and enable them to record finds along the way. And ultimately, we hope to be able to take everything that little bit further to encourage people to record their finds, incentivize it, have competitions, make the whole thing a little bit more fun, resources, everything all in one place for everybody. So as Luke said, if you wake up in the morning, you want to go somewhere, you can pick that somewhere, research that somewhere, go there, hopefully find stuff, record your finds, research those finds, everything all in one place. That's the whole idea, making life easy.
Absolutely, yeah. Sorry, guys. Can you hear me?
No, I got all confused then. Hi, Luke. Hi, Luke.
I've just run downstairs because I heard the intros. The girls are still awake. But yeah, you know, as Mark said and I said at the beginning, it really is something. It's going to be something completely new for the hobby, and the way that as people will find out over the coming weeks and months, the way that we've done it in a way so that really everyone is a winner, from the detectorists to the farmers to dig organisers. It really is something to kind of pinch Mark's detectable logo. That if it's in place, it really will bring the world of metal detecting together, because it's something that everybody can put into and contribute to. So I think it's just going to make a massive difference, because so many people, a lot of people that have been in the hobby for a long, long time, they have to wait and rely on those Sunday digs. It will change that. It will make a huge difference to people that have just bought their first machine. They can get it out of the box, they can subscribe, they can go metal detect. So it kind of pushes the hobby closer to the way people are able to enjoy other hobbies, like specifically fishing. Whereby I don't fish, but I could go and buy a fishing rod tomorrow and go and fish. So it really just kind of puts metal detecting on more of a par with regards to how open it is, and how easy a hobby it is to do, more along the line of fishing.
So, Scott, we're currently at phase 1 stage. There are a number of phases, am I correct?
Yeah, so phase 1 is the Finds recording app, which is live now. You can get that on the App Store and Play Store. It's very similar to Instagram. It's essentially a social platform, but purely for sharing your finds and recording your finds. As Luke said, phase 2 for the UK will give you somewhere to dig. So it will be very similar to another hobby like fishing, where you can go and dig. You don't have to find anywhere. You can buy a detector or wake up in the morning and just go. So that's the idea of phase 2. But for phase 1, we've trialed it on the weekends, the Finds recording app, and I think we've got 400 or so members and 500 recorded finds so far, which I think is quite a good start.
Luke, would it be possible, if you are there, because I know you're busy in the background, would it be possible to pull up Scott's screen so we can actually, look at the app itself as we're talking? He might have popped off upstairs. If not, don't worry about it. We'll catch it in a bit. Oh, here it is.
Oh. Is that me controlling that? There you go. Yeah, so I'm going to give you a little demo of the Finds app now. So this is how it looks. This is the find feed. You can choose to follow or not follow people, and you'll see their finds in your feed. And you can like, comment. I'll show up down here. You can bookmark favorite finds as well. The general structure of a find record is images, tags. So here you might tag it with Mindlab or Nocta or Garrett, so you can support your favorite brands, and that will show there. You've got found with, land type, material, period, dimensions, etc. Here you've got an explore, so again similar to Instagram, and it will show you all the finds, the latest finds that have been recorded, whether you follow them or not, so you can find other people to follow. Here's the add find screen. So as an example, I'll pick one of Adrian's finds.
Oh God,
That one there. There's full you can add full image editing capability. So you've got filters down here. There's lots of other stuff you can do.
Scott, you've never used filters on a photograph ever.
No comment. So yeah, once you've done with your image, you press the tick symbol. It will show up there. You can add more if you want to. You can add some notes, events. So people have been tagging Detectable Doom 2021 with their finds from over the weekend. We're going to extend that for other events as well. So you can group all finds per event. Found with, so you've got a list of manufacturers here, country, so on and so forth. And then you press record finds and it puts it on your feed.
Where you've got the find with, is there an eyes only in that category?
There's none.
Right, you got a none.
Yeah, so you can put that in there. We may further extend that, but I won't say too much on that for now. We also need to add a few other options like find depth and a few other bits and pieces that will improve over time. But for now, for launch, I think this is fine.
Now, I do have a question before you go on. If you go back to that bit, please.
Yeah.
A few people at the weekend mentioned about an issue with your location. Now, I know the answer to this, but can you explain to people about adding their location to their own personal feed?
Sure. So this is completely optional, get current location. So if you're out in the field and you take a photo and you want to record it, you can press this and it will grab your current coordinates. They're always private. They're never shared anywhere. And it's so you'll be able to, on the front end, if I show you a find record, if you were to record your location, it will say recorded here. If not, it will say NA for not applicable. And eventually, quite soon, on a profile, Aaron Weedle here, along here, there'll be a map symbol where you'll be able to see your find spots on a map, but that's private to you and no one else can see that.
Right.
Can you share those, Scott?
The find spots?
Yeah.
It's something we could build in, but it's not something I've planned for now. We need to be quite careful with location. So
right.
There's another feature on the Messenger that I was going to add, like a WhatsApp, you can share your location. So I thought if you've got a group of you out in the field, you could press a button to share your location to find where you are. A few useful features like that, which we're looking into as well.
Okay.
So additionally to that, it is currently a finds recording app. Am I right? So I know you've been in communication with the Portable Antiquity Scheme. Is there potential, therefore, that they will be able to, for instance, you could be put in contact with your FLO, and these can then be recorded by them, and obviously then they can speak to you outside of the app to discuss the potential of what will happen to that.
Yeah, so over the last year, so I've noticed one of the huge problems is the painful process of recording with the PAS and how long it takes and all of that. So the idea with this, it's not quite ready yet. We need to improve the data quality and improve and add a few more data points and, you know, change how you add an image, etc. But the idea is you'll be able to press one button. Say you're in the UK and you're from Hampshire. If you want to record it with a flow, you'll press a button that says send to flow. It will generate a PDF and image attachments in an email, put in your flow's email address, job done. So it's quite a simple process.
And am I right, after talking with you, Scott, going forward in time, they could potentially, rather than phone up or email the flow, they could potentially log onto a website and track the status of their record?
Yeah, I have built a sort of a wireframe of a flow profile. So yeah, it's not confirmed yet. It's something we could introduce, but we haven't done anything with it yet. It's just an idea. But instead of emails and then chasing up to find what the status of it is, a flow could log in. They could have 3 columns, pending, processing, and complete. So if you send to flow, it will go into the pending column, and you'll see that status, as will the flow. And then the flow, if they decide it needs to be recorded, they change the status to yes, and that will go into the processing column, so on and so forth. So we have got some ideas on how to make that process easier. We just don't know exactly what we're going to do with it yet.
Right. So
The idea, though, is to make it easier for detectorists.
Right.
It's from that point of view.
I know it's very early, but some people might not. Someone might have bought a phone from Argos last month or whatever and never been on Instagram, didn't quite fancy Facebook. So the benefits over this is, in theory, you could record it, use it to record all your fines and log your fines. And let's say you on Christmas Day, no one's bought you any presents and you live on your own and rather listen to Radio Free, could you export your fines in a spreadsheet or do you know what I mean? So you can view what date you found what, where and then.
Yeah, so you can do that from your profile anyway. And you've got fine feed here, and then you've got a grid similar to Instagram. But one thing we are looking at is, especially for events, is the ability to export. So you can tag per event and we'll improve that. For example, Detectable June 2021, if we need to produce a fines report for that, we can press a button and it will produce a fines report automatically. We won't have to write it by hand. That's something that we could extend to other dig organisers and other events around the UK or around the world as well.
Right, okay.
I think the fines recording app is, the reaction to it has largely been really, really strong. Obviously the fines recording app, all of this stuff kind of goes along with this ability to book.
You'll have to get a bit close to the mic, Luke. Can't hear you. I've lost you completely, pal.
Scott, will it have the ability to take videos soon?
I can add that. Yeah, it's something we'll look into. For the event that just went, we had to get it ready, sort of minimum viable product. So for now, it's working quite solid. It's had good feedback, but we can look to add video and various other bits to it as well.
Right.
And is this UK based or is it international or any countries of consequence?
Any country can use it. It's English language only at the moment. But that will soon change. So any country can use it. And so at the moment, you get 1 point per find you record. So there's a leaderboard here. So I'll show you this briefly.
Who's on top? Who's on top?
You've got top 10. You've got Joshua Pierce there. He loves the app as well. And then you've got Steve there. So this equates to how many fines you've recorded, and soon we'll be introducing prizes and competitions to that as well, just to encourage you to record more fines really. But what we're also going to introduce is a brand leaderboard. So for example, every time you add a fine, you might choose MindLab, Nocta or Garant, but we might have on the platform, MindLab is 60% of fines, number 1, number 2 is Nocta, number 3 is Garant, for example. So that's just another bit of fun. And we're also going to introduce country leaderboards. So, for example, UK could be number 1, US number 2, Canada number 3. There's a lot of stuff that we can do.
Oh, it'll be like metal detecting Olympics.
It would.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what,
something like that. Yeah.
Well, MindLab did that last year, and that got me right. They had a quite a clever little thing that people voted on it all over the world, and I loved doing that. It was against me in Germany one month, and I won. But Scott, just one thing. Obviously, we're talking about this as the stage one as a fines app and everything, but more importantly, I think for me, the permission side that you and Mark are working on now. I know it's early stages, but Mark, Scott, it's a big problem getting permissions. Have you got enough permissions to become available on the app ready?
I'll leave that for Mark to answer.
It's something we have been working on for many months now, and I believe that at the time of launch, we will have enough permission to keep the people that there'll be a beta test. So basically, everybody that's signed up to the app now, our plan is to give them first refusal on phase 2. Am I right, Scott? That is what we're planning to do. We're planning to give everybody that's signed up now. We're going to give them the opportunity to beta test phase 2. So the permissions that we put in place will be enough for our beta testers. If everything works well with that and the plans with the permissions that we have, then we will obviously release that into a wider audience and make it available to everybody else.
Hello,
So
can
what-
you hear me now?
Yeah,
It's still very vague. Go on, mate.
Is that any better? I'm literally
Yes,
leaning
that's
on top
better.
of my phone. Yeah,
That's
okay,
better.
cool. So obviously when we launch, people will have not exact locations, but they will know the areas that farms are in. So obviously, our coverage will grow from our launch day, but it's not going to be a question of somebody subscribing to Just Detect and finding that the nearest farm is 60 miles away. So people will be aware of the approximate locations and how close those locations are before they make a decision about whether Just Detect is for them or not.
Right. And what's the initial feedback from farmers at the moment?
We've got a huge database of farms as we've been running over, about 11 years now, funnily enough. So we've probably got around 500 farms. I've spoken to probably over 10% of those, and the general feedback has been absolutely excellent. They love the idea. There was a few concerns which we've addressed since the initial concept as well and gone back to them. And now I think we've got a product that will make landowners very happy, hopefully make detectorists very happy. As Luke said earlier, it's pretty much the way we see it is it's a win-win for everybody. We hope to see lots of smiley, happy faces from landowners to detectorists to eventually even maybe the portable antiquity scheme. Who knows? Everybody might be smiling if we're fortunate enough.
And what I quite like about this as well is the more detectorists that use Just Detect and add their finds, it shows just how valuable detectorists are in terms of recording and recovering history.
And how capable we are of doing it as well.
Yeah, because that's something I've noticed over the last year.
Hmm.
Well, will there be a mixture? Obviously, you'll have a number of farms that have already had club digs on as well. But I take it there's going to be smaller places, smaller sites that haven't been detected before as well.
There'll be a wide variety of sites available, large, small. They'll be new when they're first added to Just Detect, because they'll be exclusive to Just Detect. But as time goes by, obviously they will have been detected. There will be areas of the farms and the sites that wouldn't have been. There'll always be new stuff that will be added to it, and as it grows, more and more stuff will be added to it as well.
Someone at the door.
And
the door's going, the text is going, it's all going.
Yeah.
Obviously, more and more detail will kind of come out, but I think one of the biggest kind of hurdles that we had to overcome was how we make this something that is beneficial for everyone. So that we are literally from the detectorist to the farmer to any reputable, dig organizer in the UK. We wanted to make sure that it would work for everyone. And we have done that. So I know there are people out there that do have some concerns, but I think as this rolls out, people will see it really is inclusive. As we keep saying, with the way we've set this up, everyone is a winner. Our intention isn't to tread on people's toes. This will work for everyone, and the farmers and the detectorists, your everyday detectorists, will see a great end result.
Well, I know from myself and Adrian's perspective, we've been assisting with the beta testing of the app itself, and we've given a lot of input, and that's all been taken into account, hasn't it, Adrian? And everything I think we've said has been altered or added to or changed.
I think. I mean, Scott has got some, and Mark got some amazing ideas. I mean, we won't go into details, Scott, but the artificial intelligence.
Well, go into the auto find ID with advanced machine learning to it.
I think the thing as well is that some of the other parts of this, although we're friends with Mark, with Scott, with Luke, we're only just learnt this weekend of what's going on in phase 2 and the potential future of it as well thereafter. So, there's so much going on that, we didn't, it didn't occur to us so much was
well, I
able
think
to do from one location.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, some people, you're not the first people to do this you are with the app, but with the offering of permissions, but encompassing it all in one place. So rather than having a text on your phone with a permission, a membership to a certain website for locations and stuff, it's all encompassed in one app. And am I right in saying that if a detectorist goes on a permission and doesn't shut the farm gates and doesn't fill his holes in and takes 2 bin liners full of asbestos and dumps it on the farmer's field, potentially they could get a negative review on the app?
The thing with this is it's quite ambitious, and there are quite a lot of moving parts. So if anyone abuses it and they don't follow the rules, then we'll probably have to have a zero tolerance policy on that. There's no question, because there's too much at risk really with land and landowners. But that will be made perfectly clear, and everyone would have to agree to that who's going on a Just Detect permission.
We have and this is the big benefit for landowners, and this doesn't affect the listeners of this show. It doesn't affect responsible detectors in any way at all. But really, for the first time ever, we will have a situation whereby if a farmer has a problem with a detectorist on a farm somewhere in the country, that is accountable throughout all of the Just Detect permissions. So it really will kind of, remove those. They're few and far between, but, every hobby has bad apples. But, Just Detect will have a much better way of controlling those people and stopping those people gaining access and getting on a field again.
Right. One quick question, Scott, which someone somewhere is going to ask. This data with all the locations on, what type of metal detector you use and everything, your potential email address and that, how secure is it? Where's it hosted? Not on a server bedroom.
No. Well, as you know, I've been running Detector Network for a year, and that's all fully secure. So it's hosted at the same place as that, the London data center. It's all encrypted. There's nothing to worry about there. Also, there are full privacy controls on the app, which we will look to extend over the next week and make it a bit clearer as to how you can make your profile private, what data is used and what isn't, so on and so forth. When it comes around to the permission side of things and location, if you're booked onto a permission, then your location will probably be shared with that particular landowner for security purposes. Because if you decide to take 10 of your mates and you're not Just Detect members, we need to know that, or the landowner needs to know that. So there are different provisions in place, but it is fully secure.
Right. Okay. Interesting. One other downside, not another downside, but something that could be a downside, if you can't get a signal in the field.
That is a potential issue.
Turning metal detector on.
Yeah.
That is a potential issue, and the one downside of the Finds app right now is it does require an internet connection. So we will look into introducing offline capability into that and look at GPS. Again, we have to consider battery life draining, and there are many things for us to consider for phase 2. So we'll give you some more info on that soon.
Cool. Okay. Dave,
I'm still thoroughly enjoying the Finds recording side of it myself. Being able to, it's just like social media, but there's none of the social media bullshit going on with it. It's there. There's no blah, 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 blah. It's just there, and you can see what's there. You can follow who you want. You can see what you want. I mean, I'm only following a few people at the moment, but, the finds that I'm seeing, it's quite nice to sit there when you get up in the morning, having a poo, scrolling through Just Detect. I'll look at the finds, because obviously the arm bit popped up every few hours. There's more and more occurring, and I'm getting put off behind that person eating cake behind your head, Adrian. That's better. Oh, here she is.
Hi.
She's got out better.
All right, Karen.
Oh,
You're still
okay.
recovering
A little bit.
because you hit it pretty hard with the dancing and whatnot at the weekend, didn't you?
Yeah. Was I dancing?
You see, I was trying to be polite then with just dancing.
What were you doing, Dave? Were you behaving yourself?
Which bit?
Well, I stayed in a lovely care home, so I enjoyed myself in the evenings. So, not that the viewers want to know, but
before the show started, Karen, I actually put that picture, as my background screensaver. I had to take it off as the show started, obviously.
Yeah.
I think let's embarrass Adrian.
Yeah, the chair.
You can if you want. You can if you want. Don't bother me. It wasn't my toilet anyway. It was my mate James's. I didn't know that we were booking a B&B that used to be a care home, but it was. Oh, yeah. Yeah, don't go any lower. I haven't got any pants on underneath that. You can't see it, Dave. It's a plastic seat in the shower.
Why does he look like the shower's on over there? It really does.
Like the shower's on.
It's like he's got that really shock. Oh, I've turned the shower on.
Yeah.
I don't think the angle of this picture and obviously the bit cut off, it doesn't give it the necessary information that you need. It's just Adrian.
Yeah, just me being me as I was, just intoxicated slightly, but yeah. So yeah, carry fillers, but don't move out of the way. Yeah, I agree with that.
TC, yeah, it does have the capacity for all your buttons. So.
It wasn't the fact that Kerry's seen it. It wasn't the fact that Mark's seen it or Karen's seen it. As soon as Adrian sent it to me, 58 people saw it.
Yeah, that's good. That was good. Scott, I think we've got some questions in the chat, or if people want to ask questions about Just Detect, because someone mentioned about will it cost to detect on a permission, which obviously it must do.
It will do, yeah. So the Find app is completely free. We'll probably introduce some paid features here and there, but with the permissions, it will require an annual subscription, and then you'll pay per dig, basically. But it'll be more in line with probably what you pay already. So,
Alan hides. Obviously, when you've uploading stuff, you can add the weight and the dimensions and such like. But when you get home and you've obviously measured them, can you update the find accordingly?
Right now, you can't. You can't edit a find. It's on my development list. So you can add a find with minimal details. So an image, the country, and what you found it with. You can press record. The rest will show unknown automatically. And probably in a couple of days, I'll introduce the edit find feature. So you'll be able to press on the 3 dots, press edit, and then put in more details.
Right.
I'm just scrolling through. Tony K wants to know, do you actually have the capacity for all the buttons that he'll find?
Yes. Go ahead. You can
I must say
it for us, TC.
I must say, Scott, you've got a huge category of scroll down for the type of artifact or find modern day. How many are there in total? Because it's quite a lot, isn't there?
I'm not sure, but there are too many.
There's
that's another thing that I'm going to add in there. So at the moment, you've got to scroll and scroll and scroll, which is quite annoying. So I'm going to add a little search feature into those. So when you press on it, you just type in coin and then select it quickly.
Right.
So all these little things are improvements that we can make over the next week or so.
Cool.
Kerry Fuller's just actually reminded me of something I need to obviously point out. Where Adrian's shower, as we saw, wasn't the best. I had like a tropical rainfall shower, and I had nymphs washing me with beautiful oils and sensual massaging and such like.
And 3 breakfasts.
So. Yeah. There was an incident in the hotel. No, I've got to tell you about the coffee. Incident at the hotel where I sort of thought, oh, Dolce Gusto, I'll have one of them. Is that it? 1/3 of a cup, I'll have another one. Is that it? 2/3 of a cup, I'll have another one. Drank coffee, very nice. Need another one, another 3. Very nice. Finished drinking and realised it was an espresso machine. So I had 6 espressos, plus my tramadol and other morning drugs, and then went down to coffee for breakfast and had lots of coffee. And by the time I got over to yourself, Adrian, I was a little bit What would you say, Wired?
I'd have to agree with Kerry's comments there.
Yeah, we've heard
It's
that
only the
story.
fourth time.
Right.
I can tell it again. In fact, I can write it up as an article if you want.
I'll start telling one of my stories in a minute. That everyone about the dog.
Oh,
The dog
please
that
don't.
attacked me, but we won't because it's early and people will be put off. What happened to me? But Scott, just sorry, Karen. Scott. So put it this way,
Cheers.
and Mark, I go to say LP or whoever and buy a metal detector, say this time next year, and I get home and I register for the Just Detect app, and I find there's a field 5 miles away, 10 miles away from me. I can go and detect and try out metal detecting for 20 quid, 30 quid, whatever it is for the day.
Yeah.
There'll be a list of rules and regulations I have to adhere to, I presume. And
There will be, and that might vary slightly per permission as well.
Right. Okay. So how will they vary and why? If you just want to explain.
Well, it's dependent on the landowner and their particular rules, really. So there'll be a set rules from us, but they might vary slightly dependent on the landowner's wishes. So.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So basically, if I go one day, I don't have to pay an annual subscription, or I do.
You would have to.
Right. So you have an annual subscription, and then you pay to just detect on a certain land.
That's right. Yeah.
Right.
And you'll be able to see how many other people.
We'd love to offer it for free, but unfortunately the cost implications of storing that amount of data, including all the images, the setup, the building of it, because Scott has had to bring in other team members to build it. It's quite a big project.
Spend hours and hours and hours and hours on development. You have no idea.
So I know a lot of people think that it's a money-making scheme. However, it is to help improve things for the detectorists, because we've been in this game for like 11 years now, and most of the detectorists over time have told us what they would want. And one of the things that we've heard loads of times is just being able to get up on their day off, go out detecting, record their finds, have a good time, invite other people if they're able to, all the things that you would want. And that was sort of the aim, wasn't it, to bring detectorists what they wanted. So
and it's all about having fun at the end of the day. So I feel that this makes it easy for you to do that. That's the idea anyway.
Mark,
yeah,
have you got any permissions planned for Just Detect that have got a public house at the front of it? Because that'd be a good one with a B&B.
I've actually got a couple of Just Detect permissions. They don't.
That's got a pub on site.
Yeah, there is one, but I haven't actually spoken to them yet.
Would that be good, Adrian?
One of the ones I've spoken to has a pub literally at the end of the field. So literally, like,
is it a pub? Is it a former care home?
No, it's not a former care home. It's actually it's 15th century, I think. It's a 15th century thatched, rather posh bistro, like a pubby kind
Gastro
of thing,
pub.
Yeah, that's it. Bistro, gastro, darling, whatever you fucking call it.
And what?
After Watershed.
No.
7 minutes, but hey, what's you? Yeah. I don't care.
Scott, History Digging Hampshire is trying to register, and he keeps getting error message saying invalid username characters. Would be handy to know what's acceptable.
If there's a space, you're not allowed spaces, basically. So remove space.
Right.
So if it's too long, it won't like that either. I'll improve that messaging a bit later. If you still get any issues, email help@just-detect.com and I'll be able to do it for you.
Right.
I am scrolling through as well, because there were a few other people finding issues. So somebody, Robert Hunter Collinson, says he's gone to sign up, but it said he's already got an account, but he hasn't signed up.
Again, please email help@justhyphendetect.com. If you send me your email address of what you're using, I'll be able to sort that out for you, no problem.
Because this is a brand new concept, there are going to be a few little teething issues with it. And we did also, poor Scott, we rushed him majorly because we needed it up and running. Unfortunately, this is the first year at Detectival. We haven't been able to have a fines recording team on site. This was due to COVID and the touching of fines and the back and
Grouping
forth
of
and
people, gatherings.
it just wasn't feasible. So we rushed this through so we could have the event on the app, which a lot of people who are on there will have noticed. On the event section, you've got the drop down to select the June Detectival event, and then be able to record their fines that way. But the FLOs will still have access to this because the fines team will obviously be interested to know what's been recorded. So at the moment, I think 75 fines have been recorded, but we know a lot more came up. I've seen loads on Facebook. I've been commenting on a lot of people's posts saying, please go onto the app and record the fines. This is predominantly so the FLOs can see these fines.
Just so they know that we're capable
also,
of doing it.
Well, some of them, you know, if it's like just, you know, a lump of gold or something that you're not sure of, they're going to help you identify it as well. So this is the whole point. So yeah, please get on there.
Lump of gold, you're open. Do you not know me? Couple of other little questions. What areas, I presume he means what counties, are going to be in the permissions database up to now?
Various.
So it's widespread throughout the UK. We're 10 plus, aren't you, at the moment? 10 plus at the moment, isn't it?
It's a large number of counties. Yeah, it's around 10 plus, I would say.
Marvellous.
Wow.
And Ivy and Dad have said, sorry it's already been answered, but do you know when that phase will be launched?
We're going to aim for around September.
Ooh, excellent.
So the next
just the right time. Nick Metal Detecting says, any merchandise for JD yet?
Not yet, but there will be.
Look at Scott's top.
No, I've got one.
Have you watched that from the weekend?
No, he's still wearing the same stuff.
I bet he is.
I think this is Luke's one, so I brought it back with me by mistake.
I've got to say something. But the JD t-shirts that you've got currently, you've got to give kudos to the turnaround of who made them for you and what have you as well.
Yeah, Detecting Wear UK, really fast turnaround. So thanks very much for that.
Great quality, great price, fast turnaround.
Very good. ST shorters. Yeah, very good. Karen, just going back to talking about flows, have any flows given any feedback on Mark and that on the app yet?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had quite a few meetings with the PAS and flows to try and make sure that we're getting this right, because as I said, we want to demonstrate that we're perfectly capable of being able to record fines in a professional manner, and this is just hopefully going to simplify that whole process. Ultimately, what we'd like to be able to do is to, as I said, keep everybody happy, is for finders to be able to share fines with their FLO. So there'll be a PAS referral button, if you like, for example, on each profile, so they can press that and it will refer certain fines to the FLO and the information that they've obtained. And then the FLO and the finder can have a direct line of communication through the app, exchange images, weights, dimensions, etc., and hopefully it will make this process of communicating with your flow and having to go and see them, sometimes traveling vast miles, finding the time to do that, finding someone to look after your kids, your dog, your cat, your monkey, whatever you've blooming got. It's not always that easy. So hopefully,
I want a monkey.
No, you don't. That's cruel. Leave the monkeys in the jungle. You don't.
My mum had a pet monkey, but I won't go there. She honestly did.
Don't believe any story he ever says.
I swear on my kid's life, my mum did have a monkey as a pet. It's a long story. I won't go there, but she did have a pet monkey. You had to wear nappies. I'll tell you about it. And it is cruel, but it's in the 1940s. It was in the 1940s.
It's a monkey in nappies in the 1940s.
Yeah,
Adrian, just going back to what you were saying though,
About monkeys in nappies.
Your bananas.
Your stories, Adrian, crack me up. Anyway, yeah, we have had FLOs. We've had also previous FLOs look at this. One of the FLOs, previous FLOs, was Annie Bayard and
Julian Waters
as well, and a few others have been reviewing it for us just to make sure that we're doing what needs to be done, because we don't want to miss any important elements off of it that people would find useful, and we're getting feedback all the time, and this is something, it's an ongoing project, you know. We want feedback, we want detectorists and FLOs and everyone to be looking at it and saying, oh, could you implement this? This would be really helpful, this would be really useful, you know, because it's for you, it's for you guys. So, you know, let us know what you want, what would be really helpful. People for the future have been mentioning like LiDAR and other things, and it's all stuff that for the future it's going to be hopefully with us for, you know, ongoing for years. So there's the potential is limitless, hopefully.
So the flows are pretty much on board then if they're giving feedback on it.
Serious.
Well,
so it's
now
a bit
did
of a
I say that?
There's a bit of a split going on out there.
There's always this difficulty between, as all detectorists will know, not all archaeologists support the way we do things, and it is a gap that, you know, we've been trying to bridge for a few years. You can't please all the people all the time.
We're trying to provide a solution to a problem that has been ongoing for some time. Fines recording, permissions. So that's what Just Detect is. It is
We're taking it into our own hands, basically.
But yeah, we can all sit there and whinge and moan that nothing's being done, or this is happening and that's happening and this person's doing that and these people are doing that. Or we can get off our asses and do something about it and try and make a difference, can't we?
The biggest feedback we've had from archaeologists is they feel that detectorists do not record their finds enough. Now, come on, guys, everyone watching, back me up on this. We do. We're trying to do the right thing. So this is a way to solve that problem. Doesn't mean that everyone will get on board with it, but they need to understand that, you know, it is the way forwards.
Yeah,
you'll see a lot more. If every detectorist got on this app and was recording all of their significant finds, especially finds that, you know, might not get seen otherwise, you know.
Yeah, I agree, because technology's been there for the last few years, and it sounds daft. You can sell a pair of pants on Amazon or eBay or whatever you want with a flick of your phone, yet metal detectorists are still, there's so many different ways that people do it. Some people write it down. I used to write it down years ago. Some people take a photo with Google Maps and locate it and put notes, and it's, some people do it when they get home, but it's just having it all in one place makes complete sense, and being able to integrate it into your local flow. And what I was saying to Scott and Mark was saying earlier about the whole, when you have to go and visit your flow, contact your flow, if you can do it all electronically and they can message you back through it and everything, I think that is a huge benefit. It's can't come soon enough. But I know it's early days. I know it's early days and there's a lot of work to do, but hopefully it can improve.
The good thing with this is because we do have friends who are archaeologists and they're on board with this, we will be introducing soon finds experts who people, if they want to, and this probably would be for paying members again because there would be a cost involved, but they would be able to help with finds identification. And you know, that's something that we all want. How great would it be if we could we could upload and, you know, get a response fairly quickly as, oh yeah, I can confirm that is that age, or that is what you thought it was. Or
well,
not.
Even if you don't want to do that, the resources should be in place so you'll be able to research and identify your finds through available information through the app, which would be great.
Right.
It'll all be there. It'll just make everybody's life easy, which all we want these days. Easy life, isn't it? Really, half of Luke's
and I think, I'm not sure whether you could hear what Luke was saying as well earlier. He was a bit muffled, but me and him discussed it earlier. But there are going to be other things introduced into this, including the ability to be able to organise events. Because obviously Luke is an event organiser, we're event organisers. This app isn't about taking away those members because they'll have their own permission. It's about adding into that, you know, because...
And the ability to record fines on our events as well, you know. These I mean, a lot of land we've been doing fines reports for quite some time, but it's a very lengthy process, photographing, putting in all the information manually and then uploading it, editing pictures, etc. If you can do all that, in my opinion, on an app, which at the end of I can then provide a copy of the report from all the hashtagged fines from that particular event to the landowner and to the local FLO, etc., makes my life so much easier, and it just goes shush to a lot of the archaeological community that are giving us a hard time constantly about not recording fines, not making an effort, etc., etc.
So it's the whole uniqueness of Just Detect is it's an app that integrates everything into our hobby going forward. So it's all in one place, isn't it? It's pretty much like your Facebook, I suppose, but in a lot safer and easier way.
Without all the bull crap, as you said, because there's none of those smarmy comments when people are posting up fines and they don't know what it is. You know what I mean? You get a lot of these sort of like fines trolls, I guess I'm going to call them, that just don't say anything creative or constructive on a comment that a complete beginner might be asking about something. No, they just come out and spout complete and utter bull crap. Good thing about Just Detect is none of that will be there. You won't have to put up with any of that. They can stay on Facebook. Well, like people that are actually really interested in the fines and the history, etc., can come and play on Just Detect and leave the trolls there to just pick on God knows who, hopefully.
Just a quick question for Scott. Sorry, I see, Scott, you're looking at ironing boards on the Argos website from the reflection in your glasses, but sorry to butt in. Can the app...
I thought it was a dog bed or something.
Yeah, I thought it was
something.
No, it's a find on the app, actually.
Something hub.
Someone's found an ironing board.
Something hub.
Palm hub or something he's looking at. That's it.
Just one thing as well. I just noticed that Jason Massey put in there about, you know, big organisers recording their fines on events, but we have an events drop down that we can add your event hashtag to, like I did mention yesterday, where you can group all of your fines on the app already. So it's something that you can talk to us about and we can work together on that.
Yeah.
Hey, can I just point something out as well? Oh, it's got green in it. It's got green in it. Look at that. It's the June detectable free copy of the Archaeology and Metal Detecting magazine. Look at that. There it is. And you'll be able to pick them up at Detecticon or Peaky Finders rallies or Metal Detectives rallies or I think LP as well at the moment for that particular issue. And then we've got 2 others coming out this year at the Rodney Cook Memorial Rally and Detectable.
Scott, sorry,
Yeah,
Dave.
sorry.
One quick question. Have you got a copy?
Yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And I think Dave and Luke done very well on that.
Nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me at all. It's all down to Luke.
I just need to talk about rings, Dave. Scott, ring fencing. What's all that about with the app?
Or virtual geofencing.
Yeah.
So all the permissions on the Just Detect app when we release phase 2, there'll be a virtual geofence around the permission. So when you walk into it with the app and your phone, they'll give you a notification, and it's basically a virtual border. So if you step outside of the permission, you'll know because it will tell you. The moment you step into that permission, the idea is for it to record your movements. So you'll be able to see where you've walked, similar to hiking apps and things. And if you find something, if you record it on the app, then it will record your find spot on the map as well. So it's a fully integrated system whilst you're on site on a JD permission. And then when you leave that geofence, it will stop tracking you. And that's the end of it.
Cool.
We've got a good question in the comments for you, Scott. Will there be any integration between JD and Detector Network?
That's Adam, Detect Sussex. Good question.
Yeah, it's something that I could do. It's not something that I've thought about yet because we just had to get phase 1 out there. And I've got quite a lot of improvements to make on Detector Network soon. I've sort of left it running in the background for a bit. But yeah, in short, that is something we can look at doing.
You've also got a bit of kudos for the app from Jerry B. Morris. At nearing 87, one of the old school detectorists, the new recording format is very interesting to hear about. So
brilliant. Yeah, that's lovely to hear. Well done, Jerry.
Yeah, get on it, mate.
It's been really great so far as well, because unlike DN, so I was sort of doing it on my own, but since I've been doing this for a year in metal detecting, we've launched Just Detect, and everyone seems to just sign up, follow other people, comment, like, record their finds without asking any questions, and also share it across their socials as well. So that's been quite nice to see over the last couple of days. So we've had some quite good feedback.
Yeah.
Also, we've got some manufacturers and dealers coming on board as well for various competitions and other exciting things in the future. So yeah, it's all exciting stuff.
And obviously we have the backing of the wonderful Searcher magazine and the wonderful LP Detecting as well. So.
And that, what's that? I'm not sure.
Can't read it.
I haven't seen it before.
And the big archaeology metal detecting
magazine as well.
Yeah.
Although it's very small in the corner there, and when he showed it, it was green, which didn't really help.
Scotty B, Nocta is an option in the found with field, but let me know if you've got any other issues, but it should be in there.
Yeah. Scott, how long do you reckon it will be till you said finds step 2, the permissions, the September sort of time? What about phase 3?
Look in Mark's face. September detectable. We'll be releasing details on that at the same time.
Right.
So phase 2, the permissions on the beta test should come out around September, and then we will announce our amazing phase 3 plans. What's coming next? I hear you all say. Well, you just have to wait and find out.
And
yes, that's a secret because no one will tell me.
No, it's something to do with
tell me either. Even I don't know.
That'd be good, Scott, if it integrates into a food delivery service, food and alcohol.
Well, so Just Detect the brand is sort of cheeky kebab delivery in the field. That's something we could look to introduce in future.
You can do that.
We'll see.
Yeah,
you can do that, Dave, already.
This is the best day of my life.
But...
Cake in the field. Cake in the field.
Cake in the field.
I've got to give a shout out to what's her name?
Glenda.
Shout out to Glenda for issuing me with the most delightful apple cake at the weekend. Several slices of.
Her cakes rock.
In fact, there's Mr. Metal Detectorist with cake.
Metal Detectorist with
So
cake.
quite a bit of skill that day, didn't it? XP Deus and cake.
I want to know where his spade is.
I was on the other side of the camp. So on the other side of the camera by Adrian.
Really? Well, I'm just wondering, how you're holding your spade at this current moment in time whilst metal detecting the cake and a metal detector in your hands.
Do you want the total honesty of it, Mark?
Go on.
We were practicing. He was letting me have a go at the XP Deus because I'd never used one before in the arena. So I didn't have a spade with me because I didn't want to dig anything up.
Oh, fair enough.
So I was eating cake and detecting just to get a grip of the XP Deus. And I've got to say as well, much thanks to Gary Cook, Gary Blackwell, and Marcus and Nigel Regden, because I stood with them for about an hour and discussed the Deus because I've got no idea about it, and the information that was put across to me was befuddling. And I was quite shocked, especially the patented S handle and such like. Fantastic.
Phenomenal machine in the right hands, mate. It's the same
12
as the
years.
Really?
Luke, could you...
has been out, Mark. When you look at it...
Luke, could you share the screen, please? Luke, share the screen, please.
He's falling asleep. Whilst we got this...
No, that one. And it's time for this week's prize draw. Luke, if you could share the screen in 20 seconds. Luke, share the screen. Oh, that's why. I'm not sharing it. Right, now, Luke, can you share the screen? My fault. Here we go. Marvellous. So 3, 2, 1. Britain's first coin book's first prize. Secondly, cleaning pencil. And third prize, 5 Dicker Dips tokens. Karen, number, please. Someone.
I was muted.
11.
Yes. 8. Adrian.
Number.
11, please, Bob.
Mark.
Mark's not here.
Scott.
What's it between?
27. Norton 44.
22.
He's hacking it.
24. White House. So White House wins the Britain's first coin books. Karen? It's not hard.
17.
Adrian?
That's up, Dave.
Snooker loopy nuts are we? 14.
Scott?
19.
42.
Come on.
To 3. It's number 32. And it's S. Bedwell. Congratulations, S. Bedwell. You win the cleaning pencil from cleaningpencil.com. And final prize, 5 Diggers Dick tokens. Karen?
2.
Adrian?
1.
Scott?
5.
We're not.
What number?
I think Scott was going to say that.
5.
3. Oh, we're all out.
Wag, wag. Oops.
It's number 11. Legs 11 for We Zuffa. So Britain's first coin book goes to White House. Second place, cleaning pencil from S. Bedwell. And third prize, 5 Diggers Dips token to We Zuffa. Thank you to Diggers Dips as ever, and to Graham Dempsey at thecleaningpencil.com, which, by the way, I got to play with all weekend. Stop sharing. I got to play with all weekend, and I did a little video of him showing me how to clean and wax it properly, and it was quite phenomenal. Niall got very, very carried away, didn't he?
What, with Nigel Shaft on his pencil? Yeah,
Yeah,
he did. Yeah, no, it was good. It was lovely. People were taking a good interest in the pencil and the wax cleaning.
And so they should, because it's a fantastic product.
You take it for granted. I do with mine. You get home from detecting, and you sit there and clean away, and you forget that it's great product. And I did pay for it. I didn't get it for free. Graham will second that. Graham Dempsey.
I didn't realise what the tools actually did in the correct manner. And from having a piece of metal in my hand to a Roman coin, which was preserved and everything, was astonishing, really.
Very good. David,
but
Mark's gone. Just to put things straight, the monkey story in nappies is true. What's Karen all right?
I don't know, but she's growling now.
I think she's been
fallen over and banged her knee.
Thanks, Adrian.
I will tell you off air, but it's cruel now. But shall I quickly tell you? It takes 10 seconds.
Go on, then.
My granddad owned a garage in Romford in Essex, and in the 1940s, and he had a lot of travellers and people pass. And one day he mended someone's car, and they didn't have enough money, so they said, "Will you take this monkey?" And they gave him a monkey. And my mum had it when she was a little girl. And then it got given to the zoo because they realised you can't have a marmoset monkey in the garage.
Good. They did the right thing. Good.
16 seconds, that's up, mate. 16 seconds.
They didn't really. They killed it and ate it. But no, they did. They gave it to the zoo. And I've got a hat made from it.
I think my favourite story from the weekend was you having a conversation with somebody over breakfast. That was a great story. Yeah. We won't go there.
Over breakfast.
Did you not hear his story about?
Let's move on.
Oh, I think it's one that
it'll definitely. Honestly, it really will have to be off air. It really will.
Adrian, yeah.
Yeah. So, Scott, just got a question from Steve Davis, of all people, is in the show tonight.
Well, you were singing Snooker Loopy before.
Nuts are we? We are Snooker Loopy.
Scott, I've got to say, we've learned this weekend that people like Niall and Scott don't get things like us singing Snooker Loopy. They don't get it.
Too young. He's a world champion snooker player. First one to be a millionaire, I think. But Steve Davis, not the Steve Davis, I don't think. He's saying the app sounds great, but here in the US, we don't have anything like yours worth recording. I don't know. You do have some good stuff. Yeah, you do. It's all history. It would be great to be able to log on and see what's being found there. But the location wise is global, isn't it? So you can pick your location.
You can sign up. You can start recording your finds and choose United States, for example. But you can follow other people, say from the UK. You can press on UK or search hashtag United Kingdom, see all the finds from the UK. Or hashtag country name with no spaces. You can see all of those. So it's available for everyone to use.
So me and Dave...
You first.
Sorry, me and Dave can do our metal detecting rally in Miami next year and use the app for that event.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Well, it's like that. I mean, Steve, obviously, if he wants to record his finds, it's not just recording his finds in the sense of in the UK recording them for the portable antiquities scheme, but it's actually recording them for his own prosperity. So he's got them all. He's got all that information that he doesn't have to write down. He just needs to look at the app and find the information. If he finds 7 silver dollar coins in a certain area, and he wants to go back and he forgets where this area is exactly because it's a massive expanse of land, all he needs to do is look at his own locational settings within that app to take him back straight away to where it is.
Yeah, and you just reminded me as well, I wanted to add in sort of find statistics or detectorist insights, I call it. So if you found 10 silver items in a month, it will tell you, you'll be able to view loads of statistics about what you found based on the recording. But there'll be more information on that soon.
Brilliant. Well, I think it's a very exciting app. The future for it, obviously, we've got an idea now of phase 2, phase 3. Nobody will tell me, and I'm dead nosy. I've got a big nose to prove it. Obviously, it is, and I'm sure there'll be more. I'm sure there'll be lots more little bits and bobs that when you're in it, there's got to be a lot more available in the future than the main phase 2, phase 3.
Yes, I think Scott.
Yeah.
Sorry, were you just checking out your ironing board at Argos? Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I want to make sure it's finished stop.
If I had a club dig at the moment on the app, you've got where you found your find, and you've got detectable 21, for example. How would a club have their own permission on there? Could they do that? So if they had a rally?
We're going to introduce that soon, yeah. So for now, we trialled it with the first detectable event and it went well. So we'll probably try it with a few more. And then we'll look at how to make that an automatic process. So let the user create their own event, so on and so forth. So you can't do that yet, but it's something we'll introduce.
Right. Jason Stevens just said, sounds like what I'm already a member of in South Wales, metal detecting passport, set up last year and covers South, Mid and West Wales. I don't recall that's an app. That's just a website, isn't it?
Yeah, and as far as I'm aware, they cover Wales, which at the moment
They don't. I don't think they do fines recording or anything like that as well.
Oh, right. So it's totally different thing. Right.
And it is purely Wales, isn't it?
It's completely different. Or as the Thais might say, same, but different.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
I was much more in
the permission side of our app is fantastic. Well, will be fantastic, but there are a lot of other elements to do with this app. One of the most important parts of it, which is why it's been released first, is the fines recording. Yeah. And then there's a lot of other exciting bits which we can't announce right now because we're still in talks with people, but are coming in later phases. So yeah.
Brilliant. Thanks, Karen. Dave.
I've just spotted Sue from. She was one of the marshals at the event. Hello, Sue.
Oh,
Sue.
yeah. Hello.
Well, lovely Sue.
Hi, Sue.
And George.
And George. George will be there as well. Hi, George.
There are Facebook monitors, and they are also marshals of ours, and they'll be on the dig on the weekend.
Super
fantastic.
Cool.
They are super cool.
Yeah.
Simon
on bigger steps.
She always wins little things.
Lucky woman.
Simon Bedwell's just put his wife's won the cleaning pencils. She asked me to say thanks to you all.
Oh,
and
thank you.
Also, if I scroll up a little bit, the lady who won the 5 Diggers Dips tokens also said yay, and I can't find how it was now, so I apologise, but she did say yay or words to that effect. It was Susan Foster. You've just said that, haven't you?
Yeah, it's all right, Dave. We expect you to be a little bit slow at this time, isn't it?
Do you know, I haven't even my bedtime. It is bedtime actually. I went bed at 8:15 last night. What's that about?
Oh, what you get up to?
Cake.
I don't know. I was asleep. Probably shut the bed.
I had a question for Scott. Can't remember what it was. Oh, that's right. Scott, Mark, and Karen. If I don't have a mobile phone, can I still access Just Detect?
No.
So you can't use it on a desktop.
Not at the moment, no. It's just
not
mobile.
unless you're going to carry your laptop or your desktop when you go out metal.
No, it's not that long. There are a number of people that I obviously, modern day society, you automatically presume people have access to everything, and there was several people I've spoken to recently who don't actually have Wi-Fi capable. They got like Nokia 3310 still and stuff like that. They still work and everything. And they haven't found them detecting, but there's a lot of people out there who obviously don't have that capability. So obviously you'll know about that, and the app as it is at the moment was released for, in particular,
just
this week.
Just for smartphones. But we will introduce a website version where you can upload your fines. So that's something we'll look at. But for phase 2 especially, you'll need a phone and you need a smartphone. That's just a requirement. It's something that we couldn't get around.
But going forward, the air detector, for example, that runs off a mobile phone, in theory, it could integrate into that in 2 years' time, couldn't it?
It could do. It's something that I thought about as well.
Yeah, which should be coming out soon. Well, it is sort of. It's gone quiet. Oh, how's my ring stove? Yeah, we won't get on that. The ring stove, Dave. Oven rings.
Don't remind him.
The video's on YouTube. We had a bit of fun on Sunday. It was so hot that we couldn't really do much outside of the gazebo, so we decided to do a video, which is on the ArkMD Mag TV YouTube. What is your favorite? The most important question at Detectable: what is your favorite ring on the hob? And statistically, it was front left, which is very unsafe as far as I'm concerned.
You sure it was front left?
Front left was statistically the most answered, yeah. Followed by front right, and then the back two were slightly even though they should be the most. Anyway, diverse. Yeah. See, we're arguing again.
Yeah. I'd ignore. Karen, how's summer detectable planning going? Because obviously now you've got a mark. Now you've got spring out of the way in the summer. How's the summer one coming on?
Yeah, you got spring out the way in the summer. Don't
It's
remind
great.
me. Yeah.
Lots to do, never enough time. No, it's pretty much there.
Will there be, obviously, with Mr. Boris Johnson's travel restrictions and such like, will there be obviously a lot less people from abroad there? So will there be more room available for more participants in the UK?
Yeah, well, we had the same amount of participants for the June one, and the spring one, the last one we did there, 2019, had 100 French attendees had come, and obviously those spaces got filled. It is a first come, first serve. The website is being updated right now by Scott, another project.
No, it's not. He's buying iron boards.
This poor guy. So the tickets should be.
Shut up, Karen.
The dog just growling at Scott to get to work.
It's not me,
That was just a dog just growling at Scott saying, "Get to work." Yeah, I know, she's savage. She's right.
Is Scott?
Calm down.
Is Scott locked upstairs in your spare room?
No, the other dog.
So the tickets should be going on sale at the end of June. What the actual? Right, I'm done.
He's actually now known as Surrogate Scott anyway.
Yeah, because he's. Have you not got many lights in your house, Karen?
Sorry?
Have you not got much lighting in your house?
Much lighting?
I'm not
Yeah,
allowed a light. I'm only allowed a little bowl of water a day.
The room you've put Scott in upstairs is quite dark.
If you let him out, it all goes wrong.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You've got
Okay.
to keep him locked in. Slide, as he said, a little bowl of food each day and a glass of water. No
Through a
bed.
flapping the door.
Just slide it up
No
a little
bed,
hatch in
no
the
wine.
door and keep him in there.
Scott, don't take the abuse, man. Just,
I think you need to get him on an exercise bike to power the house. Do it all up to generators and that. Do it, Scott. Get some exercise. Right. It's 9:30. It's time for us to go. Thank you, obviously, all for Mark and Karen again for a fantastic weekend, and everybody else involved, traders and feeders and coffee people and marshals and security and everybody. Fantastic. Thank you to Henley-on-Thames for being so lovely. What a magnificent place that I'd never been before. Scott, obviously, for coming on tonight, and Mark, Karen, and Luke up in the up there somewhere. We're gonna play out momentarily of a short video of images from Detectival this weekend. So you might see your face on there. Didn't take many, but when I did, I know, thanks to Treasure Hunting Magazine's Julian Evan Hart for allowing me to use this too. So thank you all, and we'll see you back here next week. Don't forget, Just Detect. You can have a look online at just-detect.com. Is that right, Scott?
That's right, yeah.
And obviously, you can download it in app at Google Play or the App Store. So there you go. Thank you from me, and thank you to all the viewers tonight. It's been a pleasure as ever. And we'll see you back here next week. At the moment, I haven't sorted out a guest. We do have one on the cards, a very, very well-known TV personality. I'm just waiting for a date from that person who's checking their diary. So, and then I'll be able to tell you the story that goes with it as well. So thank you all. And Luke, thank you all, and good night. Good night, Adrian.
Good night, David. And
Good night.
have a lovely weekend. And I'll see you next week. And I hope, Scott, you don't get too hot in Mark and Karen's spare room. And have a lovely weekend as well, mate.
Thanks
And
very much.
also, Scott, don't forget Mark's surrogate Father's Day card as well.
Oh, yes.
Oh, thanks
Yes.
for that reminder. I would have forgotten.
Yeah.
Yeah, son, don't forget the card. I just want to say thanks to you guys for all your help and support and everything as well with Detectival and beta testing and absolutely everything we've been putting you all through. You've all been great. Thank you.
Pleasure to help, and anything I can personally do, just give me a shout, and I'll tell you fuck off probably. But there you go.
That's how Scott started. That's how Scott started. Now look at him, poor bloke.
Yeah.
Have you got a room big enough for me?
No.
Kitchen.
The garage. I've converted the garage. Don't worry.
That'll do.
We have Adrian. He's quite funny.
I reckon Scott's still actually in the back of that van.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
No,
Mark doesn't actually know that, but he is in the back. If you check the Wi-Fi usage, you'll realise he's in the van.
I wonder what that weird noise was when I was driving down the road the other day.
It was Scott going, oh!
Yes!
Yeah. Oh, no, dear. Kerry, I'd just like to say, Dave, as well, it was lovely meeting Kerry at the weekend, as well as Niall and everyone else. Yeah, and Kerry, I'm sorting that thing out for you. I won't shout that quote I shouted across the field at Detectival, which was sorry about last night or something, which turned a lot. Do you remember that turned a lot of people's heads? Okay, yeah, but no, it was great, lovely people, and it was a really nice weekend meeting everyone. So yeah,
it was.
I can't wait for the summer.
So keep tuned in for this 3-minute video of images from the weekend with some nice royalty-free music to go alongside it. So take care, everyone, and we'll see you all next week. Good night.
Night. Cheers, Scott.
Bye, guys. Cheers.
Just be honest, I've been in my bed. Reinforce my walls with all these hypotheticals. When it comes to you, no one really compares. But I'm scared and I'm nervous. I don't wanna get hurt anymore. I don't want nobody else. You know that you got as hell. I get ahead of myself. Finishing races and never begin. I don't want nobody else. You know that you feel as hell. I get ahead of myself. Keep on telling myself, don't rush, it's a little crush. Don't need to worry about it, don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, it's a little crush. Just let go, don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush. Don't need to worry about it, don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush. Just let go. Making time, not taking it to clear my doubts. Cleared out all the clutter, I'm no longer seeing clouds. Yeah, you deserve much better. You deserve much better. And I deserve a chance at new love. I don't want nobody else. You know that you want as hell. I got ahead of myself. Finishing races will never begin. I don't want nobody else. You know that you fun as hell. I get ahead of myself. Keep on telling myself, don't rush, rush. Don't worry about it. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, it's a little crush. Just let go. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush, crush. Don't worry about it. Don't need to figure it out. Don't rush, a little crush. Just let go. Don't need to figure it to worry about it, don't need to figure it out. Now don't rush, it's a little crush.
Many spend their days passively searching for something interesting to do. Others dig in and find it. While nothing is certain, anything is possible. And the anticipation leads you into action. Because it's here that adventures begin. Stories are unearthed. Secrets are revealed. Fortunes are found. Mysteries are solved. And the past is brought to life. Nothing valued is ever lost. It's simply waiting to be discovered. So here's the question. What are you looking for?